show yourself love as well. And ask yourself, how can you treat yourself with more love? And it could be as simple as taking yourself out and just going on a walk by yourself, turning on music you enjoy, turning on a podcast that makes you feel good. Welcome to the Be Mindful podcast. I am your host, women's mindset and manifestation coach, Raechelle Torio. If you are interested in manifestation, personal development, or spirituality, you have came to the right place. This podcast was created with the intention to help you become mindfully aware of how you think, what you speak, and what you believe. Because who you are from within is what you will attract from the out. Let's begin. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Be Mindful podcast. I am so excited to be back. The last few months have been a whirlwind. I have been going through a transformational journey, that's for sure. And recently I did lose someone who unfortunately was taken from us from cancer. He is my Ninong, he is my Godfather, and it really took a toll on me. It really forced me to also pause on a lot of my projects, including this podcast. And it made me realize I really needed to work through my emotions and that grief is not an easy thing to work through. So here we are. I feel like I've worked through a lot. I've learned a lot. And I'm starting to feel like myself again, knowing that my Ninong was at peace, knowing that he's not suffering anymore. And it's time to not forget about him, but move forward and knowing that he's in a happier place. And because I was going through this, I wanted to share with all of you today, what can we do to basically reset our life, get back into routine, and make sure that we are taking steps towards our goals, towards our dreams, making sure that we are prioritizing our happiness, our joy, our mental health, because we matter, we are important, and in order for us to achieve the things that we want and perform at our best, it is important to recognize the things that are holding us back. So this episode is really focusing on how you can realistically, with six steps, realistically reset your life and get back into it. All right, so the first step that I want to share with you today in regards to resetting completely, the first one is acknowledging what hasn't been working. This is the most important because I know that when we want to start creating new habits, when we want to take new steps, it's hard for us to do that sometimes because it gets a little overwhelming because there's so many steps that we feel like we need to take. In order for us to perform at our best, we have to acknowledge the things that aren't working for us. So the best way you can really take a moment to acknowledge it is get out a notebook, get out your paper, and write down, is there anything that has affected my mental health recently? Are there any actions that I've been taking? So for example, have you been on your phone a little bit too much, like scrolling through social media a little too often? Are you comparing yourself to other people? Are you eating a lot of junk food? Because of course, junk food is going to impact our mental health as well. It doesn't make us feel the best, and our emotions are affected based on the food we eat as well. So for example, for me, I knew that losing my Ninong was definitely a big chunk of the reason why I wasn't performing. When I would start recording, I would instantly think of him and I would just start crying. And I kind of want to cry right now, but it's definitely not like before. It was like any project I started, for some reason, he just kept coming up. And I felt like it was a sign like, hey, he's probably telling me, yo, you need to chill. You need to take a break and you need to grieve through this process because, yeah, I'm not here anymore, but you need to take care of yourself. That's the message that I got for myself. When you're able to stop and pause and write down all of the habits or anything traumatic that maybe happened in your life that may be affecting you today, it's important to acknowledge that. That way you can really understand how you can show up for yourself. Now, step 2 on how to reset your life is to create routines. Now, in order to create new habits and new routines, I highly, highly recommend using the habit loop. The habit loop is when you have a cue, a routine, and then a reward. I find this to be very helpful because it just simplifies the steps that we need to take in order for us to get something done. So, a great example could be, what if you want to start waking up early? So, your cue is obviously going to be your alarm. The routine is whatever you create. So, I highly recommend creating a morning routine that will help fuel you for the day. It'll set you up for success. And then, once you're done with that routine, you have a specific reward. So, for me, for example, my reward in the morning when I get up is my coffee. I definitely try not to have coffee every day, but it just happens sometimes. For example, for me, I have my alarm as my cue. My routine is my morning routine, doing my skincare, listening to affirmations, and then my reward is my coffee. So I have something to look forward to. So if you need help starting a new habit, getting back into routine, use the habit loop. All right, let's talk about step 3. This one is also important, and it's you taking the time to sit down again, get out paper and pen, and write down your goals. I highly recommend writing down about 10. This exercise, a lot of people have a hard time actually getting to 10. And the reason why is because a lot of the times our goals are in our head. We just think what we want, we talk about what we want, but we don't really get clear of why we want it. So write those 10 goals down, and next to every single goal, write down why. Why do you want it anyways? What is your intentions? That way you can get clear if this is something you do really want, or maybe it's something that you no longer want anymore, or it was something that you thought you wanted. It's great to get clarity based on what we desire. Another question you can ask yourself is, what is a step that I can take to move in the direction towards my goals? And also, what am I doing right now? I truly do believe that these questions are essential when you're working towards your goals. It helps you break things down a little more and come to an understanding of how you're going to even get there. I know that sometimes we don't know what steps we need to take. It's never going to be a perfect path, but at least you are trying to understand, like, what can I do right now at this very moment, especially when it comes to your big goals. For example, mine and my husband, our big goal right now is saving up for a home. We are ready to buy a home. We're ready to put a down payment, and that's because we have been taking the proper steps to do that. But right now, the market's a little crazy. We haven't found the house that we want just yet, but that's okay. This is a big goal of ours. And so for now, we're going to continue saving. We're going to continue educating ourselves when it comes to buying our first home. And I know it's going to work out. It's going to work out when the timing is right. And so that is the patience that we all need for ourselves when we're working towards the goal. And breaking down the steps for yourself and understanding what step you need to take first is really going to help you. You're going to know and see that, wow, I am taking steps, and it might take a few, but I'm just going to take them one step at a time. Next up, we have step number 4. So I know we just talked about getting clear on your goals, how you can create routines. And so I highly recommend to download my free monthly manifestation guide. This guide is going to help you get clear about your actions and your beliefs and what is basically needed in order for you to show up as the person you want to become. I love this guide. I've taught this to my clients. I've also actually taught this to some high school students. I went to a high school here in my county and I spoke to the seniors there, and I provided them these steps because in order for us to show up, we have to know what beliefs we need to have in order to show up for ourselves, because that's how it works. Based on what you think about yourself, what you believe about yourself is how you're going to perform. As you work on resetting your life, getting back into your routines and everything, download my free guide. You'll find it in the show notes, and then you'll be able to get this process started. It's going to be easier, and there's also some journal prompts in there that's going to guide you as well. Step number 5 is you surrounding yourself with love, especially giving yourself that love back. You do not need to be mean to yourself. You do not need to put yourself down. It is not needed. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of energy. So you need to work on being your biggest cheerleader here. So show yourself some love during this time. I know it can be kind of hard when we fall out of routines and we want to get back into it. And then sometimes we put ourselves down and make ourselves feel guilty because we weren't keeping up with it. We are not perfect. I feel like I've said this many times in other podcast episodes, but we're not robots. We're not perfect. You cannot expect yourself to just be on this perfect robotic schedule, okay? So really show yourself some love during this time and surround yourself with love in your life. Who brings you so much joy? Who makes you laugh a lot? Who is there to support you? The past 2 years have really taught me to create healthier boundaries for myself and be very picky with who I want in my life. I don't believe that is selfish. I think that is self-love. If you know that there are certain people in your life that don't really support you or don't bring you the light and joy that you want, then I think it's time to reevaluate your relationships. But like I said, remember to show yourself love as well and ask yourself, how can you treat yourself with more love? And it could be as simple as taking yourself out and just going on a walk by yourself, turning on music you enjoy, turning on a podcast that makes you feel good. Or maybe it's you taking time every week to do like a self-care time to do your own nails. Or maybe it's even you listening to daily affirmations and really reminding yourself, actively reminding yourself what a badass you are. Acts of self-love comes in many forms and in many different ways. It doesn't have to be something you pay for. It could be something that's completely free. So remember to show yourself love. The last step I want to give you today is to implement mindfulness into your day to day. This is something that I really, really need. If I don't have this for myself, I tend to have higher anxiety. I tend to find myself really more in my head because I am constantly on the go. I'm not giving my brain the time to just take a moment and pause and rest. Giving our brain the time to rest when we're sleeping is just not enough time. We are constantly on the go. So give yourself, even if it's just 5 minutes out of your day, instead of going on social media, instead of watching a show, or before you watch a show, whatever you're about to do, take that moment to just be still. And you can do a meditation. You could pray. You could just turn on some soothing music. You can do a breath technique. You can literally look up anything on YouTube for you to kind of just give yourself a moment to pause and help you get into that silent, personal moment with yourself. Again, it doesn't have to be a specific type of way. It can be a way that works for you. But really give yourself that time to be still. And I notice those moments where I am being still, I am being present in the moment. That's when more of my creativity comes from. I end up getting ideas from those moments because I'm allowing my brain to take a break. Another way that you can implement mindfulness is being present in everything that you do. When you are brushing your teeth, for example, there's a lot of times where we're just thinking about our day and all the things that we need to do. When you're in the morning, brushing your teeth, getting ready for the day, do your best to be present in that time. Try to prevent yourself from overthinking about all the things that are going to happen throughout the day and all the things that you need to get done. Enjoy that moment. Enjoy your morning routine. Enjoy cleaning your teeth, enjoy putting on moisturizer, taking care of yourself. That is something that you get to do. There are many people out there that might be sick. Maybe they're in the hospital right now and they can't even do that for themselves. They have other people helping them. So have a moment of being present and have gratitude that you have the ability to do that for yourself and take that time to just be present. All right, beautiful souls, that is the end of today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm super, super excited to be back. I'm sending you so much love. If you would like to book a coaching call with me, go ahead and check the show notes and the link is in there. I hope you have an awesome day or night, whatever day or time it is. And if you enjoy this, please like and subscribe. I will see you in the next episode. And don't forget, be mindful because who you are from within will only attract from the out. See you in the next episode.